I had gone out that day to looked at the apples in Edneyville. We had some apples out there in the orchard, and I'd gone out to look at them, and I was on my way back. And I noticed as we were getting back to I-26 there that there was smoke down on the right side of the road down there, some real black smoke. And I wondered what in the world was going on. And so about that time I was listening to WHKP, and it came on the radio that all the members of the 210th MPs were to report to the Armory, to Sergeant Justice at the Armory out there. So since I was fairly close, I just went on around the back way there and came out at the Armory and walked in, and Sergeant Justice said, go home and get your uniform on. We've got a real mess here, Terry. And so that's exactly what I did. I went home and got dressed as soon as I could and got out to the Armory as quickly as I could. And I got out there, I'm thinking somewhere between 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I noticed there was rescue squad units everywhere out there, lights flashing and all this stuff around Henderson County. And I was really, I knew something pretty bad had happened. So anyway, I went in and reported to Sergeant Justice, and he said, stand by, I'll let you know what we need for you to do. About that time, I think Sergeant Justice came in, or Captain Barnett, and we went into what we needed to do. And the first decision made was that they brought in the free fall victims. We had, I believe, 7 of them, and we brought them back. They were brought back to we called it the firing range back there. It's where we used to go back to fire, and we had concrete pad poured back there, and it was cool and pretty well isolated away. And so I went back there, and so about that time the hearse or ambulance, whatever it was, I don't remember what it was, our rescue squad vehicle, I'm not sure exactly what it was, came in, and they had the body bags. And the decision was made that the bodies were to be laid out in the floor back there at the firing range and covered up until they were identified, and then they would be moved, that the funeral homes would be coming to get the bodies and take them out. So I remember the first body bag came back there, and I was standing there. We had some officers present, I can't remember, probably Lieutenant Stepp or Lieutenant Bridgman, I can't remember which one. But anyway, I opened the first body bag, and I realized it was a stewardess, and I did not recognize her. So she was taken out of the body bag and placed on the floor back there and covered with a sheet. And the second body bag we opened was also a stewardess, and I knew her. So I told the lieutenant, whichever one it was, if it was Stepp or Bridgman, I don't remember which one now, I said, I know this girl. I know her name. I said, y'all are trying to put IDs on these? And they said, yes, we are. And I said, well, this one is Sandra Cox. I know her personally. And of course, I was kind of rattled at the time. I remember that. And so anyway, that was a pretty hard time. And then it became very personal to me that we need to do all we could to protect all these folks and get them back where they were from and do the very best we could. And we did that. And we also opened the other body bags and placed all of them back there and covered them with sheets. We had white sheets from, or they were really, I don't remember if they were cloth or paper. I think they were paper maybe from Berkeley Mills. Berkeley Mills had brought some stuff out there. And so that was the beginning of it. And from that time on, it was just to try to identify everybody and try to get them squared away and get them to where, get them back home where they belonged. And that's what we did. And I was very proud to be part of the 210th. Jim Barnett was our company commander. He was an excellent company commander. William Russell was our first sergeant. Both of them were personal friends of mine, and I feel honored to be able to serve in a company with guys like that. And I knew that they were there to do the very best they could for everybody, and they did. And I thought the thing was handled very professionally. And the main thing was if you were going to be anywhere near the armory there, you had to have some ID. If you didn't have the ID, you didn't go in that armory. You didn't go anywhere near it. You didn't get past the Spartanburg Highway out there. That was the end of it. And so It was a really hard time. It was a time I won't ever forget. I remember seeing things that I won't ever, hopefully never see again, and I just was in the middle of a real mess there, and we just did the very best that we could. I felt like everybody was very dedicated, and everybody tried as hard as they could. I wish it hadn't happened, certainly, but we were stuck in the middle of a bad situation. The 210th was, and I felt like it did a very good job. I felt like our people did the very best they could do, and I really don't know of anything that we could have done any different than what we did. We did what we were asked to do, and later on they brought in refrigerated trailers, and we put the bodies in the trailers. And as soon as we could identify the folks, the funeral homes came and got them, and took them back and buried them. And so that's basically what the situation was. We had a real good company. We had real good officers. We had good enlisted men, and I felt like we just had really good troops. And I felt like for a guard unit, I thought we were an exceptional guard unit. Probably one of the best in the state, if not the best in the state. You could ask some other people about that. We've got Barnett and others who were there, but I felt like we had a real good unit. I was very proud of it. Very proud to be a part of the 210th. And I was very proud of the job that everybody did, especially the rescue squads, the law enforcement, the EMTs. Everybody just really jumped in and tried to do the best they could. We all did, just did what we could do. But it's different when you know the people. If you know somebody that was on there that you knew personally, it makes it a whole different situation. And my main thought was to take care of Susan Cox and make sure she got home and got back to her family, which she did, and she's buried in a cemetery in High Point, North Carolina, down off English Road. And so it was just really a hard day for me in a lot of ways, but we all did the best we could.